You've probably heard that 70% of Americans are overweight or obese, that 50% will suffer a mental illness, and that we are more medicated yet less healthy than ever. But what if I told you there is so much hope? Because despite what we've been told, we often overlook one of the most powerful tools we have for a vibrant life, and that's the food on our plates.
People like to
Body cells need specific nutrients to maintain their best health.
Tim eats slowly
more than just quick energy if you want
to be healthy and happy.
And stick with me, because what you're about to learn may change how you view food and health forever. So here's what not enough people understand. We didn't suddenly become lazy. We don't have broken genes. And yes, many things have changed, but a big one is our food. The amount, the quality, the sourcing, the processing. 11 million people die every year due to diet-related disease, and yet food is still one of the most overlooked tools in modern medicine. So in just a few short minutes, I'll show you exactly what research has shown can put major depression, even autoimmune disease into remission, and even reduce seizures. But first, let's explore the fact that nearly every aspect of our health is tied to food. We often talk about genetics like fate. What if food could turn genes on and off? Well, it can, and it does. In the famous agouti mouse study, when a mother's diet was supplemented with vitamin B9, B12, and choline, her babies were more likely to be born brown and lean than yellow and obese. The nutrients did not change the DNA, but changed the way it was expressed. Food doesn't just fuel your body, it informs it. Every bite sends a biochemical message to build or break down, to calm or inflame, to heal or decay. We are also built by what's on our plate. Just look in the mirror. You are literally made of the food that you eat. Your skin, your hormones, neurotransmitters, they're food transformed. Your gut lining regenerates every 2 to 3 days. Your muscles, your immune system, even your brain are constantly being rebuilt. The trillions of bacteria living in your gut, known as the microbiome, houses 70% of the immune system, makes 90% of your mood-boosting serotonin, and is affected daily by the foods we eat. But here's the problem. Over half of our diet, 58% of adult calories, and 67% for kids come from ultra-processed foods. Now, many of these ultra-processed foods were engineered by former tobacco companies to override your satiety signals, addict your brain, and hijack your biology. They can contain carcinogens, artificial dyes, and hyper-palatable additives you would never use in your own kitchen. Nearly 90% of Americans are also deficient in key nutrients like magnesium, potassium, and choline, and the nutrient content of our food is lower than at any other point in history. We're eating more than ever, and yet we're nutritionally bankrupt. And what about those who say it doesn't matter what you eat, it's just the calories that count? Well, in 2019, an NIH-funded study gave two groups the exact same calories and macronutrients. One group ate ultra-processed foods, and the other ate real food. The result is that the ultra-processed group ate 500 more calories a day without even trying. They gained weight, their hunger hormones spiked, and no one told them to eat more. The food made them want to eat more. It's not a willpower problem, it's a design problem. Other research has also shown that for every 10% increase in the consumption of ultra-processed foods, the risk of death increases by 14%. Unfortunately, most doctors don't learn this. The average medical student receives less than 25 hours of nutrition training, and only 27% of medical schools even meet this minimum. And most of it, this information, is outdated or heavily influenced by industry. In fact, 95% of the Dietary Guidelines Committee in 2020 had ties to big food or pharma. So how did we and our doctors become so divorced from the profound connection between food and health? Well, in 1910, the Flexner Report, funded by Rockefeller and Carnegie, restructured medical education to focus on pharmaceuticals, not food and lifestyle. It shut down nutrition schools and marginalized holistic care. By the 1940s, hospitals and research were funded by companies invested in patentable drug development. And in 1997, the FDA allowed direct-to-consumer drug ads.
Have designed a little pill that affects
the #1 selling prescription medicine. Side effects may include
Studies only diet.
increases serious stomach. Talk with your doctor. Talk to your healthcare professional and call 1-800.
help you get back the strength.
An impact on patients' lives.
Today, pharma funding drives research, guidelines, and education, and we've been led to believe there's a pill for every ill. Meanwhile, food remains a side note. Now here's the fun part, at least for me and all you nerds out there. I'd love to show you what the research says about how food can help us heal our bodies and our minds. But before we go any further, let me be clear. I'm not here to sell you keto, paleo, carnivore, or any one-size-fits-all plan. Paleo works for me, but there's more than one path to healing. And the common denominator for effective dietary intervention is the removal or minimization of ultra-processed food and the addition of nutrient-dense real food. That change alone can be profound. We've been trained to believe that drugs and surgery are our most powerful tools, but what if simply changing your plate could lower your risk of heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and even depression, sometimes dramatically? Imagine what would happen if food became the first step rather than a last resort. Here are some of the incredible things that can happen when you learn to use food as medicine. In a recent clinical trial, the paleo diet led to almost 5-pound weight loss in 3 short weeks. The Mediterranean diet has also been shown to reduce the risk of heart attack, stroke, and death, and a low-carb version helped diabetics reach remission. And it's not just about your physical health, food improves your brain health too. As early as the 1920s, it was known that the ketogenic diet could cure seizures in certain children like Charlie Abraham's, where nothing else worked. Yes, food can be that powerful. A Mediterranean-style diet in the SMILES trial also showed that 32% of depressed patients achieved remission, and a Stanford study found keto diets can reduce symptoms of bipolar and schizophrenia. A groundbreaking prison study revealed a whole food diet could result in a 37% drop in violent behavior, and when paired with key nutrients, that number jumped up to 48%. All from changing food. Even incurable diseases improve, like in a recent trial where 73% of inflammatory bowel disease patients reached remission in 6 weeks on the AIP diet. And the WALS protocol, developed by a doctor who reversed her own multiple sclerosis, reduced fatigue, improved quality of life, and helped stabilize disease. Meat-only diets have also shown benefits for autoimmune, digestive, and mental health conditions. Now, if there were a drug that could reverse depression, lower inflammation, balance blood sugar, support autoimmune remission, reduce violent behavior, and sharpen your brain, it would be the most profitable drug in history. But it already exists, and it's not in a pill. You don't need to commit to any one diet perfectly to feel better. But one truth is universal: food is powerful, and used the right way, it becomes a tool and a teacher and a turning point. So if you're ready to stop managing symptoms and start reclaiming your health, or if you've been told there's no other way, or you're just curious enough to believe that real food might be a part of your answer, this channel is for you. So hit the subscribe button, tap the bell, and join one of the most important health revolutions of our time. Let's show the world what's possible when we put food back where it belongs, at the center of healing. And before you go, drop the topic you'd most like me to cover in the next video in the comments. This channel is for you, so please let me know what you think in the comments below. I am so excited to walk this path with you, learn from you, and cheer you on every step of the way, because the story you've been told isn't the whole story, and the next chapter is up to you. So thanks for being here. Let's do this together. Let's rewrite your story one bite at a time.